2008 లో స్థాపించిన కళాశాలలో MBA, NAC A గ్రేడ్ మరియు ISO సర్టిఫికేషన్ సాధించిన మొట్టమొదటి కళాశాల శ్రీ ముత్తవరపు వెంకటేశ్వరరావు కాలేజ్ ఆఫ్ ఇంజనీరింగ్ అండ్ టెక్నాలజీ.
Good morning, students. My name is Dr. B. Suresh Babu, working as a professor in Mechanical Engineering Department. As a part of online classes, I am teaching dynamics of machinery for third year BTech Mechanical Engineering students. In today's session, students are going to learn flywheel problem and concept on dynamic force analysis. That too, in this one, as the syllabus they have mentioned, Slider crank mechanism. So the concentration for this today's class is how to solve a problem in flywheel and the main terms in dynamic force analysis by selecting the slider crank mechanism. So before going to this one, let us have a brief note on the previous class. In the previous class, we have solved 4 problems on flywheel, and basically we have covered fluctuation of energy, fluctuation of speed, how to calculate, and terms in the flywheel, and how to calculate the design parameters of the flywheel. So design parameters includes weight will be, at the same time thickness of the wheel, as well as the what is the energy that can be stored and that can be released in the flywheel. I repeat once again, in the previous class already we solved 4 problems on flywheel, covering what is energy stored in it, how to calculate the maximum fluctuation of energy, and how to calculate the parameters of the flywheel. In this class, a different problem when compared to the previous one we are going to solve. Try to understand this one. A torque output diagram shown in figure is a single cylinder engine at 3000 rpm. Determine the weight of a steel disc type flywheel required to limit the crank speed to 10 rpm above and 10 rpm below the average speed of 3000 rpm. So the outside diameter of the flywheel is 250 mm. Determine also the weight of a rim type flywheel of 250 mm mean diameter for a same allowable fluctuation of speed. So what is the theme of this question is the fluctuation of speed is given as only 10 rpm above and below, and it is rotating at a 350 rpm. We have given 2 types of flywheels. One is disc type of flywheel and second one is given as rim type of flywheel. What is the aim of the problem is to determine the weight of a rim type flywheel and to determine the weight of a disc type flywheel. So both are aim is one and the same, to find the weight. The difference is based upon the type flywheel how it will be. For this one they have given a diagram, that is the diagram is coming from the output of a cylinder engine. So from the cylindrical engine we are getting an output. That output is plot on a turning movement diagram. Already we know how to plot a turning movement diagram, but the data is given in the form of a diagram, that you have to remember. Let's see what they have given. Understand the concept of here. As we know, the fundamental parameters of the turning diagram is theta on x-axis and torque on the y-axis. So maximum limit of the torque is minus 100, that is minus 100 and plus 100. These are the minimum limit and maximum limit. In between these two, the torque produced they have given for 90 degrees, here 180, once again another 180 degrees, another angle is 350, another 90 degrees, another 90, next here it is another 90. That means for every 90 degrees there is a change in the torque except one. So based upon this data, we have to calculate the energy developed at each cycle and ultimately how much it is left. That you have to calculate it. For this one, we know the formula. So this is the given torque diagram. For theta degrees, they have mentioned, and for this one, torque also they have given in the form diagram. In the previous case, they have given in the form of a data. Based upon their data, you have calculated the energy values. Here, they have given in the form of diagram. So, you have to calculate the energy values. How you will calculate? Let us observe. Crank angle per cycle is 720 degrees. Why? Because they have mentioned that total angle is going to be 720 degrees in this slide. So that is 720 degrees. That is 4 pi radians. Because 360 plus 360. So it has taken 2 revolutions. One revolution is 360. That's why for cycle they have taken 2 revolutions. Mean speed they have given is 3000 rpm. Radius of gyration k is equal to 250 by 2, that is 125 mm. Radius of gyration k is equal to 0.25 by 2 into square root. This is for disc type. This is for rim type. So we have considered these two. Coefficient of fluctuation of speed already they have mentioned, it is plus or minus 10 degrees. So that means if you take both cases plus, that is 20 by 3000 into 0.00667. So this is the given data. As the rim for a rim type is 250 by 2. You have to remember this formula. And for radius of gyration it is 0.25 by 2 square root of 2, that is 0.0844. So this data already they have given in the question. You can observe that one. In the question, what is the diameter of the flywheel? 250. Then what is the thing to be observed? You have to find weight of the rim type and weight of the disc type. This is the relation for a gyros of gyration for a rim type is 250 by 2 and for a disc type is 250 by 2 into square root of 2. So how to convert this into energy values? That is work done per cycle is equal to net area under TMD. TMD means turning moment diagram. Work done per cycle is equal to net area under TMD. That is turning moment diagram. So what is that one? First energy, if you observe, the energy it is given as, try to remember students, they have given first 75, 90 degrees. Another it is minus 50. And once again it is plus 100, minus 75, minus 50, minus 100, and this is minus 75. So we have to calculate that one by substituting those torque values in the given conversion factor. This angle we have written, that is 75 into 90 minus 50 into this plus 100 into pi, because the difference is 180 degrees. This is 75 into pi by 2, 50 into pi by 2. So in the previous problems they have given these values, but here we have to convert that one. So based upon this total value, work done per cycle is 87.5 pi Newton meter. Mean torque is equal to work done per cycle by cycle angle per cycle, that is crank angle per cycle. So 87.5 by, what is the crank angle per cycle? It is going to make 2 revolutions. One revolution is 360 degrees, 2 revolutions is 720 degrees. So I have written 4 pi value here. Thereby mean torque is equal to 21.875 Newton meter. We calculated the mean torque. Right, remember we have calculated the mean torque from the using the formula work done per cycle. So if you convert it to 87.5 pi, that is 87.5 by 4 pi. Next. So the same diagram is drawn in the form of hatching, so that we can able to have the clear understanding. So same diagram they have drawn, that is 75 degrees, 75 torque value, 90, 100. Here also once again they have given a gap of 180 degrees and 450, 540 means the same diagram is drawn, but to have a clear presentation they have gone for hatching. So that is the thing to be understand here. Next one. So we have redrawn the same question they have given, but to avoid confusion we have hatched where the torque is given for a theta change in crank. That means torque is changing with respect to the crank angle, and that is written. Next, excess energy is equal to maximum energy minus minimum energy. What the maximum energy? If you observe that one, E plus 68.75 pi is equal to E minus 26.5265. How you will calculate means, if you go to previous case, this is the formula. That means 75 into pi by 2 will get one value. 50 into pi by 2 will get one value. Like this, we will get maximum value and minimum value. Difference of this will give the excess energy. That is E plus 68.75 pi minus E minus, that is 299.43 Newton meter. That is excess energy is this one. So if you observe this figure, from this figure we can able to understand how those values are. From this all this one, maximum value, minimum value has to be taken. Next, we know the mass of the flywheel is given by, that is energy stored in the flywheel is given by E. It depends upon E is equal to mk square omega square cs, where m is the mass of the flywheel, E is the excess energy, k is radius of gyration, angular speed of the flywheel, fluctuation in speed is given by cs. Out of all these values, only unknown value is m, because excess energy you have calculated, that is 299.43, and mass is unknown. Radius of gyration for a rim type is 0.125, that is 250 by 2. Omega square means 2 pi n by 60. Already they have given n value, and by substituting that n value we can able to find out this one. So what is n value? It is given as 3000 rpm. So by based upon this value we have calculated the omega, and omega square means that value twice, that is 3.14 into square into cs. Fluctuation speed is given by 0.006. We have calculated 20 by 3000. So based upon this equation, the unknown value is m. So m is found that for a rim type it is 29.11 kgs. For a 4 disc type, k, that means you have to replace k value. K is 0.0084 m. So mass of the flywheel for m for a disc type is, you substitute E, m has to be found, k is only changed parameter. In this k you substitute 0.008, 0.0884. Thereby you are going to get mass. So the aim of the problem is to calculate mass of the two flywheels. So first part is over. That is the given in the given problem. Next, we will go for the force analysis, dynamic force analysis on a slider crank mechanism. Before going to that one, let us have the dynamic fundamental definitions in this force analysis. Dynamic force analysis. It is defined as the study of the force at the pin and guiding surfaces and the forces causing stresses in machine parts. Such forces being the result of forces due to the motion of each part in the machine. The forces include both external and inertia forces. It is defined as the study of the force at the pin and guiding surfaces and the forces causing stresses in the machine parts. Such forces being the result of forces due to the motion of each part in the machine. The forces include both external and inertia forces. Next, torque. A rotational or twisting effect of a force is called as a torque. Its unit is in Newton meter. Empirical unit force or pound or feet. These are the different types of units. What is rotational inertia? The tendency of rotating object to remain rotating unless a torque is applied to it is called as a rotational inertia. I repeat, torque is a rotational or twisting effect of a force. What is rotational inertia? The tendency of rotating object to remain rotating unless a torque is applied to it. Next, angular velocity. This is known thing only. Still, as a part of the syllabus, I will uh, read for you. Angular velocity determines the how fast or how slow an object is rotating. Or one can say that angular velocity is the rate of change of angular displacement. The SI unit of angular displacement is radians per seconds, or SI unit of angular velocity is RPM, which means revolution per minutes. Next, the angular acceleration is the time rate of change of angular velocity and is usually designated by alpha and expressed in radians per second. For the case in which the angular velocity is uniform, no varying, that means theta is equal to Wt and alpha equal to 0. So these are the basic definitions they have mentioned in the syllabus. Dynamic force analysis means studying of the forces on a piston parts or a machine parts. In here we have to discuss on the slider crank mechanism. Piston is existing. Torque, angular velocity and angular acceleration. So these are the basic fundamentals which you have to remember. So this is a slider crank mechanism. I think everyone know this one. This is going to be called as a crank. This is going to be the sliding member. These are going to be called the pins. This is going to be called as a connecting rod. This is as a crank pin. So these are the members. First member, second member. This is going to be the crank angle. So they have represented this is a height h. This is going to be the Z3. This is going to be the angle alpha 1 and this angle is going to be alpha 2. So alpha 1 and alpha 2 are going to be changed when we are going to move the piston. So Ft is the force acting on the piston. Thereby we are going to change the position of this crank. That means angle A2 is going to be changed and thereby it will come this side and the length of the connecting rods are given as one as L1 and second two as L2 and distance between the kingpin, that is not kingpin, we can say from the base of the pin joint to the base of this one is given as L3 they have given. So L1, L2 and L3 they have given. Next. So by the working mechanism of this one, when the force is applied here, The connector or moves like this, it will come up to this stage. And at one point of time, it's once again start moving forward. It reaches the maximum backside and once again come to forward. So the arrangement of mechanical parts designed to convert a straight line motion to rotary motion, as in reciprocating piston engine, to convert a rotary motion to a straight line motion, as in reciprocating piston pump. So this can be used vice versa. A linear motion can be converted into rotary motion. A rotary motion can be converted into a linear motion. So this is another example of Federer crank mechanism. You can easily understand here. Here the angles are represented straight away to find the angle between the connecting rod of two members. One is the two members of one member is there, two member is there, and this is going to be the sliding mechanism. For a linear displacement, how much angular displacement is going to be red is observed on this pro circle. This is a linear one. This is going to be a rotary one. At the similarly, if rotary displacement takes place, the same displacement can be observed here in a linear scale. So just I will read the content. The slider crank mechanism is used to transform rotational motion to translational motion by means of rotating driving beam, a correction rod and a sliding body. In the present example, a flexible body is used for the connection rod. The sliding mass is not allowed to rotate and three revolute joints rotate and three revolute joints are used to connect the bodies. While each body has 6 degrees of freedom in space, the kinematical conditions lead to 1 degree of freedom for the whole system. So this is the explanation how the mechanism is going to be working here. Next, inertia, force and a couple. If you observe this one, F is equal to ma. A vehicle is moving with a mass ma and the direction is given as acceleration like this. So opposing force is going to be exactly opposite to this one. If you observe this one, is a simple pendulum. If you imagine, if you go to the either side, one side, right side, and if you leave it, it will tries to swing. If the force is here, one force is going to resisting. That will be acting exactly opposite to this A, that is MA. And this direction is going to be always changed based upon the alpha value. That's what they have represented here. It also depends upon the mass, how much we have tied to this rope. So inertia, force and couple, these are the two examples. Figure 1 illustration of inertia force, a translating body. Second one is a compounding pendulum, inertia force and couple on compound pendulum. So we have to discuss this one. Consider a body of mass m moving with acceleration as shown in figure. According to D'Alembert's principle, the body can be brought to equilibrium position by applying a force equal to Fma ma and in a direction opposite to the direction of acceleration. Figure 1 shows a compound pendulum of mass m, moment of inertia gl about center of mass g, while rotating at its center of mass has a linear acceleration of and angular acceleration alpha. From figure 3 shows inertia force and couple acting on the pendulum. So already I have explained the same things here. One is a linear state, second one is a pendulum state. It depends upon the mass we have added and the angle that is going to be raised for swing. The notations they have given, acceleration due to gravity, alpha they have given, mass we have considered. So equivalent offset inertia force. For this, how it happened in figure 2.1 illustrates equivalent offset inertia force. The same thing we can observe here. F IC, the moment of inertia I value, rotating like this. Second, first case is illustration of equivalent offset of inertia force. Shows a body with inertia force IF and inertia couple CI. The couple can be replaced by two parallel forces equal in magnitude and opposite in direction, acting at G and H respectively as shown in figure. If we consider their magnitude of these forces, sum of that of the inertia forces, then equal and opposite forces at a point G will be cancelled each other, and the resulting force will be a force at H, which is in the same direction as inertia force. If H is the minimum distance between the force at G and H, then small h is equal to IC by Fi. So this is IC and this is Fi. What is that one? This H is the minimum distance between the force at G and H. This is the capital G and this is the capital H value. So these are the steps 1, 2, 3 are the how it is going to be differing like this. That means when it is going to be swing, G is the position of this one. Next, H is equal to IC by Fa. So velocity position is equal to dx by dt, dx by dt into dt by dt, that is equal to r into omega sin theta plus sin 2 theta by square root of n square minus sin square theta. If n is large compared to sin square theta, then v is equal to r omega into sin theta plus sin 2 theta by 2n. So if sin 2 theta by 2n can be neglected, n is quite less, then v is equal to rw sin theta. That means velocity of a object depends upon the radius, angular speed and angle subtended. This we have to remember. I repeat once again, it depends upon the radius, angular speed and theta, that is swing. So net or effective air force on the piston, area of the covered end, A2 is area of the piston, P1 is the pressure covered, P2 is the pressure of the piston, M is the mass of the reciprocating parts. So forces on the piston is equal to A1 P1 A1 minus P2 A2. That is power. A1 is area of cover, A2 is area of piston. The inertia force is equal to Fb is equal to MJ. A is equal to mr omega square into cos theta plus cos 2 theta by n. Net or effective force of the piston is F is equal to Fp minus Fb. Fp is going to be the forces on the piston. So if you observe this one, net force is equal to Fp minus Fb. In the cylinder clank mechanism, the reciprocating part is going to be the piston, and we are going to have the three points. One is crank angle, second one is going to be the two rods, connecting rod, L1, L2, L3. Here by relation you have to remember that net force on the piston, that means on the sliding member, is equal to Fb minus Fp. So Fp is equal to P1 into A1 minus P2 A2, that is piston of the force. The inertia force is represented by Fp. So once again you can calculate based upon this theta. So this is the net force acting on the piston. So before closing, I have already told the aim of the class is what? The aim of the class is two. First one is to solve the problem on the flywheel. In the given problem, they have given how to calculate the mass. For that one, formula is given, E is equal to m omega square Cs. This is the given one. Using that relation we can able to find. Second one is fundamental terms in force analysis. In that one you have given, first one is dynamic force analysis definition, angular velocity, angular acceleration, torque, and rotational torque. That is rotational inertia. For these 5 problems, you have given the definition. And next, how to calculate the net force acting on the piston. It is the difference of the two. One is force on the piston minus inertia forces. Thereby, we are going to get to net forces acting on the piston. So this is how we can understand the concept on flywheel problems, at the same time force analysis. Still, we will solve few more problems in the coming classes, and still another part is there in force analysis. We will also discuss that one. Before closing this one, the complete notes is available in Google Classroom code 4FW5XEK. You can have a message for your doubts to my mail ID, that is cheer5@rediffmail.com. So this is the email ID to post your questions. So if let us observe this one. The formula what I have given is for calculating this. You understand cylinder crank mechanism? One example. So E is equal to mk square into omega square into cs. By using this relation, we can able to calculate. So by this, I have completed the class, students. Take care. See you all. Thank you, students. Bye.